This video tutorial is going to discuss how to auto-generate a schedule from the shift templates that you've created within SubitUp. In order to get to the schedule generation page, you'll go to the left-hand side under Schedule and click on the fifth option down, which is Generate Schedules. Schedules will be generated a little bit differently depending on whether your position is using shift-based availability or hourly-based availability. Everything that is going to come from onto your schedule generation is going to be from your shift templates and which ones are active. So if we go over to our shift templates page, you will see here that the positions that are active are going to be the ones that end up getting scheduled. That'll be actually going through with the auto generation. Shifts that are active, which you can easily inactivate here, or you can activate them if they are inactive, are going to be shifts that you have availability collected for as well. If they're active, then your staff can go ahead and input availability for them. If you're using hourly based availability, they'll be using a drag and drop method as opposed to saying which shifts they're available for. But you can still utilize this shift template page. As you can see, it's shift based and hourly based. There's two different positions with two different availability collection types, and you're gonna be able to use both this auto generation with both to make your schedule a little easier. Now, for the hourly based position, it's going to take what they've put in that they can work on their availability page on a specific date by date basis, and it will fit people into shifts where they are going to be able to work. Also keep in mind that if you're scheduling within a position different locations, it's going to be best to auto-generate a schedule for one location first and then the next location and so on and so on. So for my front desk supervisor position here, you'll see that I have a south location and a north location with identical times. So I've gone ahead and just made active just the south location and inactivated the north location. So when I go through and auto-generate a schedule, they're gonna be only the south will actually come up, and then I'll go back and do the north generation. And this will just keep people from maybe working back and forth in different locations, maybe going to one for 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. and then another one from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. when they can't realistically get there. And for shift-based positions, you can actually use a function called the schedule buffers function. And that is going to be on the left-hand side here under advanced configuration. And for more information on how to use that function and that tool, you can go ahead and click on the schedule buffer tab there, and there'll be a video in the top right, or you can head to our support center, support.subitup.com. Back to generating a schedule, the first thing you're going to do is to choose your position. So I'm going to use my shift-based position first. I'm going to do the front desk supervisor position. And then I need to choose my schedule type. So you have two options here, regular or rotation. And you only need to do rotation if you've actually set up a rotation in the advanced configuration shift rotation section of SubitUp and use this tool. If you are interested in doing that and viewing that and how it works, if you head over to the shift rotation page, you'll be able to see a video that will walk you through how to use that. Next, you're gonna be able to choose what day of the week your scheduling week starts on. So whether that's Monday, Tuesday, maybe it's a Sunday, you're gonna be able to choose what day you want this generation to start, as we're going to generate for, you can only do weeks at a time, whether it's 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks. So I'm gonna choose Monday. And then when do I wanna start this schedule? So I'm gonna go ahead and start this schedule on the 25th, May 25th. And I'm gonna schedule through the 31st. Now, if I want to go ahead and make a schedule for multiple weeks, I can definitely do that. The schedule will be a little bit different week to week. So if you're looking to have a more consistent schedule week to week, you will want to use the copy and paste tool on the calendar to exactly copy and paste into future weeks the schedule that you're going to be generating. The next option is assigning as unassigned or available. So if you don't want to assign people to these shifts, you just want to create these shifts and have them be available for pickup from your staff, you can check this. However, if you want to use the auto generation to assign people, you will leave it unchecked. And then you're going to choose whether you want to generate this schedule fairly based on hours or strictly on priority. So fairly based on hours is going to try to even out hours as much as possible, dependent on availability. And strictly based on priority is it's going to give priority to people that have ones and then twos and then threes in their priority section, which will be located under the manage availability page on SubitUp. Next up, you'll need to choose the days of the week that you want to schedule. So I do not have any shifts on Saturday and Sunday for the specific position in the templates that I'll be using. So I'm gonna go ahead and uncheck Saturday and Sunday. But if you just wanna schedule for certain days, you can absolutely do that. This can also be a function for if you are if you need to schedule a certain day first because it's the hardest day for you to schedule. You might want to go ahead and just generate the schedule for that day first, or those maybe it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday that you have a tougher time to fill. You want to just schedule for those days first before you go back and do the days that are easier to fill to make sure that you fill those before people reach their max hours. And I'm just going to go ahead and say add this position. Now you can continue to add positions. So I'm actually going to go back and I'm going to add my fitness attendant position, which is hourly based. And if you hover over the I here, right next to the specific position, it'll tell you how many shifts are there, how many staff you have in it, and if it's hourly or shift based, just so you know before you actually schedule. And if I'm adding an hourly based, it's very similar. The rotation schedules goes away. That is not something that is able to be done on hourly availability. So I'm going to go ahead and say Monday, start on the 25th through the 31st. I do not want these to be available shifts, and I want to schedule fairly based on hours. Again, no Saturday and Sunday, and add this position. So now I have my front desk position and my fitness attendant position. And as you're loading in positions to schedule, you can actually drag and drop and change the order that you want them to schedule. So right now, if the front desk supervisor is first, that's going to be the position that gets generated first. And generally, you're going to want to go ahead and keep your most specialized positions with the least amount of staff that can actually work those jobs. You'll want to schedule that first and be higher up here on the hierarchy, as opposed to more general positions that have lots of staff members. I'm going to go ahead and hit continue here. And it's going to tell me how many of your positions are hourly and how many are shift. For hourly, it's just going to be automatically created based on availability, the schedules are. Whereas shift-based, you have the option to manually generate or auto-generate. If you choose manually generate, you'll actually be able to drag and drop people into different shifts. And you'll be able to do that before you auto-generate for the entire week. And I'll go back and show that in a second of how that works, but I'm just going to auto-generate for my shift-based positions, which basically means it's going to go through the algorithm and figure out the best fit for each specific shift, and it's going to assign those as it can. Okay, now we're going to go to View Calendar. This will take you right back to your calendar, and you can just adjust to the first day of the week on the top left, and you'll be able to see your scheduling outcomes. Now, if you generate for multiple positions, you may have to load either all positions or your other position that you generated for. And you'll be able to see here exactly what people got scheduled for. Again, only my South positions were scheduled for here. And you can see those were assigned. And then any positions that did not have availability or did not have staff that could work and said they were available that would fit them within their max hours will come up as available down below here. So from there, definitely check out the calendar video as you can see how to manually assign shifts on the calendar. And you can go from there. Going to our hourly based position, if you need to adjust shift times that are going to coincide with what their availability is, the best way to do that is you'll first want to select the by employee day view. And this is going to give you a good view of what your schedule looks like on a day-to-day basis. And then you're going to select availability underneath the white bar where you choose your positions. And what this is going to actually do is it's going to give you when people are available for their different shifts. So for instance, we have this person is working from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., but it looks like here he's available from 5:15 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. So if we wanted to make any changes to this because of his availability, could easily just hover over that specific shift, and I could change, okay, I actually want him to come in at 6 a.m. now. Once that's saved, those changes have been made, and you are free to go about and do this for each day on a day-to-day basis, and you'll be able to see exactly when each person was available and adjust those shifts accordingly. Heading back over to the shift templates, we're going to stick with our front desk supervisor position. So we've already now generated our South location. So now I'm going to uncheck my South location, and I'm going to activate the North location since I still need a schedule for this. So from here, we're going to go back to generate schedules, and I don't need to do fitness attendant anymore. I just need to do my front desk position, and everything else is going to be exactly the same. Regular Monday starting on 5:25. We're going to schedule fairly based on hours, no Sunday and no Saturday, and add this position. Now, when I hit continue this time, I'm going to go ahead and do manual generation to show you what that looks like. Manual generation is going to show you the different shifts that you have to schedule. And it's going to allow you to manually drop people in that can work the shift. So for instance, if I hit the edit staff button and I have my drop down is going to tell me how many people said they were available and how many hours they're working in a given week. So I'm going to go ahead and select Zeke and create the shift. Once I've added someone to that shift, it will not be auto-generated. That shift has been created, and you'll be able to auto-generate the rest. You can see there's a check mark here saying this shift has been created. So you can go through and there's specific people you need to work specific spots and specific shifts. You can add those in, and then when you're ready to auto-generate the rest of the week, you just choose auto-generate week, and the system will go and use the algorithm to fill different shifts from there. And once the generation has been completed, we can go back to the calendar, and we'll start it on the 25th, and we'll be able to see when people were scheduled and be able to make any alterations that we may need to make from there. And that was how to generate a schedule, whether it's multiple locations or shift-based or hourly-based. We went through all the different types of scheduling generation that you could possibly do. As always, if you need any further support, please feel free to reach out to our team. Our email is support@subitup.com, and our phone number is 617-401-8733. Our office hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks so much.